Hello, it is Wednesdays with Chasey Poo, and today I'm losing my voice. I just came back from the Philadelphia Trans Wellness Conference, and it was like really awesome to see people. Like literally, I got to like take a picture with Reed and Val, and I hadn't seen Val in such a long time. Like he used to be on this channel, and it was great to see him and to see Reed again and see a whole bunch of friends. Anyways, this week's topic, we are talking about who was the most supportive person in your life. Also, I just want a disclaimer that the next, I don't know, months of videos will include me wearing a hat. I am letting my hair grow, and it's wild, and sometimes it looks cool, but most of the time it doesn't. So I'm gonna just keep the hat on. It does this like little flippy thing. Look, I'm excited to see how far I can grow it and what happens, but for right now, that's what's happening. Yeah, so when I like look back at my transition and the people who were the most supportive, I feel like it changed so much. It turned into like me relying on other people to help me, like my friends, and honestly one of the most key person was my old roommate who was also trans, and it was like such an experience to live with another trans person and like live lives. So for me, they were probably the most influential person in real life, not internet. But after a while, and I know this is gonna sound super cocky, but I turned into the most supportive person of my transition. And the reason for that is because I kind of took my transition into my own hands. I like went on hormones when I was still like not very 100% sure. And I had my friends who were very, very, very supportive. Like my high school friends were great, but I still felt a little like uneasy, I guess. But when I like went off of tea after a year of being on it, like told myself, I was like, look, I'm doing this for me. I know I need this, and I'm gonna document it online because there's no information about this at all, and I want people to know about this. So I decided to document it online, and people were just so rude. And at that point, it's kind of like when it shifted, I was like, wow, I could look after myself, that's it. My friends support me and they're great, but I felt like so many people in the community were like upset with me and not happy and did not support me anymore. So I felt like I needed to support myself no matter what I did. So I stayed off of tea for like 10 months, and I realized, you know what, I need to go back on. And I wasn't embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed at all by the 10 months that I took off of tea in the first year and a half, because it changed me. It made me really realize that, yeah, I need this, I needed this, and I'm glad that I did it. And this is who I'm supposed to be. And I just kind of had to support myself emotionally and tell myself that it's okay. Because after a while, I had a bunch of people like, I feel the same as you, or I want to do the same thing, I don't know how to do it, there's no information out there, or like, thank you for the information. So by having no one support me, I started to support others, which is really, really weird. It's really weird. And then same thing happened with top surgery, where I booked it and then I canceled it because I was too anxious, and I was like, I'm not ready, and I waited a year. I'm so glad I waited a year, because one more summer with a binder, I was like, all right, it's time. So then I had surgery the next year, and I kind of just, I don't have the typical transition narrative. And that was very hard when there weren't many people who also did not have this typical narrative. So I had to learn to support myself and believe that everything that I'm doing is okay. And I think that that's one of the reasons why I'm so supportive of other people. But in terms of like in my real life, I keep wanting to say my dad, but we never really talked about it. My dad's just been an overall support my whole life. And he's really great, but in terms of like trans identity and transition, the only people that I can actually think of are the people online who are like super duper supportive and super awesome, because they're usually trans and or non-binary, and we have a lot in common. So it was the other trans people in my life that helped me feel like good, I guess I could say that. But yeah, so that's my story. That was boring, sorry. I will see you next week. I'm sorry. I am like literally, my voice is like quivering, and I'm obviously very tired, so I'm sorry about that. All right, I'll see you later. Have a great week. Bye.